Welcome to this week's World on Water. This is the logo for the next America's Cup in Auckland, New Zealand in 2021. Originally called the 100 Guineas Cup, on August 20, 1851 at the Royal Yacht Squadron in Cowes, it was won by the schooner America, a 100-foot yacht from the New York Yacht Club. It has since been known as the America's Cup.
It's an amazing boat. We've been out in the test boat, our 28-foot test boat, I think you saw on the video. And it's a lot of fun. It's a really fast, interactive boat to sail, the manoeuvring and so on. So I think scaling that up to a 75-footer is going to be an incredible spectacle, and we're all looking forward to that.
And I just talked about how long it's been for the UK, 21 past challenges.
Thanks, Dave.
That's all right. I mean, I'm British too, but I'm completely neutral on this stage. How important would it be, do you think, for the UK?
Well, it's a big deal for us, as it is for all of these teams. And British sport is the one thing really that's missing that we've never won. And certainly our maritime history is very proud. Being here in Cowes, and we represent the Royal Yacht Squadron, which is the original club. So yeah, we'd love nothing more than to bring this cup home, and that's our goal.
Ben, you mentioned it there, and Peter's just mentioned it. You were the first team to launch that prototype, and we saw it on social media. I know you're sat in front of everyone and your competitors, but is there any insight you can give or are willing to give us?
Well, we've done quite a lot of swimming. It's been interesting. So again, in a 75-footer, how that scales up. No, like I said, it's a very cool concept. I think there's still an element of the unknown about it, but that's what will make this America's Cup that much more interesting.
So it's challenging.
No, it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge technically, and for us sailors, it's a big challenge as well, because you've got more interaction, you've got more sails going up and down, you've got a code 0 or a Jenica. So there'll be 11 crew instead of 6, and so much more of a sailing test as well as a design test. Well, do you have a fast boat? Pretty helpful in this game.
That would help.
Yeah, we learned. We were a new organisation last time, and we learned a huge number of lessons. Some of them the hard way, and certainly a lot of evaluating on the back of that, and some tough decisions to make to get the team in the right structure, which we've done that, and we're in a good place. Like all of these teams, it's 4 teams, but they're incredibly talented organisations, whether that be in sailing or design or management. So I think we're in for a pretty impressive America's Cup in terms of the quality of the teams and the boats, and it'll be a great event.
What about you personally? What did you learn about yourself as a leader that you can bring into 2021?
Well, as I said, it was tough because we went in and we knew going into the competition we were a long way off the pace. I was really proud of the way the team reacted to that. We clearly didn't win the cup, but we got ourselves to a respectable, competitive level.
Today we're at the Royal Yacht Squadron in Cowes, which is where the America's Cup all started. And the America's Cup Event Authority are announcing a lot of information about the courses in New Zealand in 2021. So the length of course, where it's going to be, and some more schedule around the proposed races, which for us as a challenger is really useful information in terms of our strategy. What are we designing a boat for, what type of race course, and so on. So yeah, it's a really important day. Well, I think the information that we gather from today will really help us to set our strategy. We're making some big decisions on the designs of our boat, and having more information about the course area, what will the likely sea state be, the likely wind conditions, the length of the course, and the build up regattas over the next couple of years. All of that information will really help us set that strategy, you know, the dates of when we need to have boats designed and built for, and for what conditions and so on. So yeah, really important for the whole team. Well, T5 is our test boat. You know, it's a 28-foot version of what the eventual 75-foot race boat will be like, and it's been really useful for us over this summer getting out on the water. You know, this is a completely new concept of boat, like no one's ever really sailed before. So to get out there for our sailors, and probably more importantly our designers, to get a feel for what the boat's like, how it performs, that's really invaluable data that feeds into the design parameters for our first race boat and moving on for the rest of the campaign. Well, the changing concept of this boat, that we now have a foiling monohull for the America's Cup, is, yeah, it's something completely new for sailing a design like this. So from a design perspective, it's actually a really neat challenge, I think, because it's going into the unknown to a certain extent, and that's pretty cool. From a sailing perspective, we've had a lot of fun in the boat, and I think that development will just continue through the rest of this campaign, and the team ultimately that wins this thing will be the one that does the best job of developing over the next couple of years.
I mean, it's clearly a very professional team and huge amounts of experience. I think what's clear is it's a very complex technical challenge, and there's an immense amount of work to be done. So, you know, they've got their hands full for the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's the first time all of the teams have come together. You've got the defenders, Emirates Team New Zealand, and then the other challenging teams, which, you know, everyone's been working away. We've been out on the water. We know that the opposition are not far behind with their test boats. So there's, you know, the jostling, I guess, is already starting a little bit. Information is starting to be traded, and that's all part of the America's Cup game. So it'll be a really fascinating day.
Today, the Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup got underway in the crystal waters of Sardinia's Emerald Coast. The event, hosted by the Yacht Club Costa Smeralda and the International Maxi Association, draws the finest monohull yachts and crews from around the world, with the prospect of yacht racing at its very best. And today the racing was indeed of the highest order, as the majority of the 41-strong fleet embarked upon a spectacular course that took them through the stunning scenery of the coastal archipelago. The yachts are competing in 5 different classes, which collectively embody the broad and colourful spectrum of maxi yacht racing. Tradition, as provided by 3 elegant J-class yachts in the Super Maxi class. The innovation of the Wallis, sophisticated, powerful yachts measuring up to 100 feet. Technology, epitomised in the Maxi class by the all-carbon Rambler, the fastest yacht in the fleet. The versatility of the Mini Maxis, combining cruising and racing prowess. And sailing on a windward lured course, the Maxi 72s, the thoroughbred racers competing here in their own World Championship and confirming the performance element to this rich and varied regatta. Now in its 29th year and set against a spectacular backdrop of Porto-Cervo, the scene is set for a memorable week of racing here at the Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup.
Blue skies and crystal clear waters were waiting for the young competitors today as we approach the final day of team racing in the Optimus World Championship. The team members are preparing their boats in order to bring them to battle and reach a much desired place on the podium.
Well, the plan is to communicate as much as we can because we're going against a very strong teams today. and our hope is to beat them and hopefully make our way to the finals. It'll be very tough because there's really good teams out there, but I think we can do it. We won it last year. I was on the team that won it last year, so I have high expectations, and we all want to win it, so I think we all just want to get the gold.
The day began with intense battles between the best teams, who, during these qualification series, have shown their will to win the IOTA Challenge Cup. These include Team USA, the defending champions, and China, last year's vice-champions. Team Thailand took advantage of the medium winds and, following an amazing performance with not a single loss, managed to secure first place by beating Team Italy, who fought all the way to the finish line in a spectacular final race.
The competition is very tough. We are very happy to be the winner. We really enjoy team racing.
The exciting format of team racing reached an end today, and from tomorrow onwards, we will continue with the Optimus Individual World Championship and find out who is to be this year's World Champion.
this here.
Yep. Okay, let's unstrap it.
cut it, we're going to have to lose anyway when we go to the end.
I think we're only going on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Then we're going to sling these down.
Yeah, with another sling of these.
Told you to fit.
Oh, we got the rig in.
So we come in from the final day of the Fin Silver Cup. Unfortunately there wasn't any racing, so I stay in third position, which I'm over the moon with. We've come away with bronze, which was the most I could have hoped for after the way my first day went. So over the moon. It was really good competition this year. Everyone had some big scores, apart from maybe Joanne and Andre managed to put a really consistent series together, and they came away with gold and silver. So I think consistency was the key this week, and avoiding getting in the wind holes and getting off the start line was the really most important thing. It's probably the most tense it's ever been on the water for me. Like the wind was going left, right, doing 180s. Like there was 5 knots one time, 3 knots another. Then it maybe got up to 10 knots at points, and there was about 3 starts I think, and a general recall. So and it was super close behind me. I think there was about 4 or 5 sailors within about 5 points. For me, I had not much to gain but a lot to lose, so I'm very happy that there wasn't any racing today.
I just won the silver medal in the Silver Cup, and looking at how it started the week, I think it's very good finishing in second place. But today I wanted to race. I think at the end we had wind for racing, but committee decided not to race, so at the end we keep the same points as yesterday, and Ondra takes the win, and he was better from the first day, so just congratulate him.
So it was a long day today on the water. We were waiting from the morning till now, till 3 o'clock afternoon, and finally we didn't make any race. So I managed to win my second Silver Cup, so I'm very happy for that. And it was a tough day, all day on the water, with sometimes wind, sometimes not. So we were trying to start a few times, but at the end, luckily for me, we didn't make any. It was hard. I was surprised with the level of the fleet. It was very difficult to hold the position all the time, to stay in front, especially with the conditions we have. And I'm happy for the juniors in the Fin fleet, which improved a lot, and they made me to fight hard for them. Yes, this is my last Silver Cup, so I'm very happy to say goodbye to Silver Cup with the winning.
Apparently one time they actually do hook up on accident and they're trying to get rid of it.
I was working on the courses. Pretty exciting actually. They've got a number of options we're just working through at the moment.
30-minute race, you probably
The big difference this time around, what we're trying to achieve is the racing right in close. It's actually pretty challenging because we are obviously going to have quite a few spectators. We're not sure their numbers, but we have to work with the harbour master on making sure it's still a safe environment, so we're just working through that process at the moment as well. Yeah, let's go have a bit of a look at the harbour and we'll show you some of the course options out there. We're up on Bastion Point. Got the Navionics here and yeah, we're just going to have a little look out on the race course. Oh, glamour day for it. Good old windy sou'wester. Picture perfect. Yeah, when the America's Cup was last here, we were way out in the outer Gulf and you know, although that was nice steady wind conditions, it was pretty tough for the spectators.
The finish, race 5, America's Cup 2000.
It's actually a big area, eh, when you look at it from here. Like we can have a race course right up inside Bean Rock, right up to the container terminal, or we can have one from here down towards Rangitoto and a bit more of a sou'westerly. And obviously we got the Rangi Channel option. You can have a nor-northwest around to a northerly, whatever we like off Takapuna. So we can cover all the wind directions, but in here we get the real natural amphitheatre. So right in close here, we've got North Head and Bean Rock, Bastion Point. This is the one of the proposed racecourse areas right here in the inner harbour. Well, we've done a number of races in here in the past, and you know, this would be absolutely perfect from a sailor's perspective. You love it when it's a little bit shifty, a little bit tricky, but today's conditions, it's just funneling down the harbour. There's actually not that many shifts. So it'll be very, very exciting racing, 20 knots, outgoing tide, it's perfect, and this is midwinter. So summer is going to be absolutely out of control. You'll actually hear the boat sailing, the noise of the winches being released. So you know, they'll literally be going right past here. People are going to be able to see this race course whether you're on the water or not, and that's pretty special for us to be able to bring it to as many people as possible.
Favorite athlete is Alexandra Maloney.
Alexandra Maloney.
Brad Chuk and Logan Dannybeck.
Eric Heil und Thomas Plesser.
My favourite 49er sailor is Peter Burling and Marcus Hansen.
Martina Grael. It's Martina Grael.
It's Santiago Lange.
Santiago Lange.
My favorite athlete is Alexandra Maloney. I'm inspired about her because she's a silver medalist of Olympic Games, and it's so cool.